Today I'm doing a demonstration on detailing your focal point. So if you're creating detail, if you're creating a focal point through detail, this is the way to go. As you can see, I got this chair here, which I have chosen as my focal point. And I began with the brown shape in the background first. And then I took strips of this colored construction paper and I glued them just like I did with these lines right here. I glued them onto my brown chair piece. However, as you can see, this is really detailed, all these tiny little lines. Once again, we're focusing on simplifying shape. So I simplified the lines by making them bigger and not having as many lines included in there. And as you can see, these are separate pieces. So in order to make the arms stand out more, I glued them on separately. But I worked from back, which is the brown chair. The next layer closest to me is the colored lines, stripes. Then is the pillow, and then I put the arm of the chair right here with strips of paper, and then I put the trim on top of it. Trim goes on top, makes that arm stick out a bit more. Now, to save time, I glued these previously before I did this demonstration. I first cut out the brown piece of paper using my finger to measure the shape by drawing it on the paper and cutting it out. And then I took the strips and I glued those on second, because that's the next layer that's closest to us. And then I added the trim to emphasize that we're seeing more than one, we're seeing the top and we're seeing the sides of the pillow. And I did these separately. I also glued these here. I did these separately so it would be easy just for me to take this and glue it on top, which I'm going to do right now. Now earlier I mentioned and I thought that I would use the dogs as my main focal point, but as you can see, the dogs are extremely small. So I can't use the dogs. It's just going to be too much work, it's going to be too much hassle, and it's going to be too much stress. So instead of doing the dogs, I'm going to add some more strips here to make it look like the dogs aren't supposed to be there and that this is just a normal chair. In fact, I'm just going to add the strip right here. If I would have known this ahead of time, I would have glued the strip before gluing the stuff that's in front of it. So I'm just going to glue that there. That should be good enough. As you can see, I have this pillow right here in my image. It's actually extremely detailed. But I'm not going to use the pillow. I'm using the chair because A, it's larger and easier to work with, and these small little flowery details I'm not going to be able to cut out as well. So I chose to simplify and work larger and just focus on the chair. Now I have my background, I have my midground, got my foreground. I got this will be considered foreground. In my picture, I have another layer of foreground right here, and it's this table or this ottoman. To make it easier, I cut out the large shape first in brown, added the trim on top of that, and underneath this orange is a white shape to create this small page amount area, and I added a strip of border for the binding. So what I'm going to do, and you can do this too, is separate your pieces and glue them at sections. This is a section. see how this goes in front? We're not gluing this first, we're gluing the chair first. So this table goes in front, so it's going to be glued last. And that is how we do foreground, midground, background, and a focal point.